You're not lazy, you're not broken, but your mind is under attack. Social media is rewiring your brain, dopamine is draining your drive, and you don't even realize it. These seven mental crises are silently destroying your focus, your confidence, and your future. Let's expose them before they consume you. So I just create some slide or some note about that seven um, problem that we are facing right now, especially if you talk about US people, and because they are overwhelmed. So I research a lot and I just play with ChatGPT or other AI tools. Then I combine with the problem, how you can quit, what is the reason you're not able to quit it. So all the things I create a mental model. So it's not an answer, it's a mental model. If you use it, you can maybe quit, not today, maybe tomorrow or next week or next month, but it should be chance. So let's dive in. So I open up three AI tools. One is Gemini, second is Claude, and third is ChatGPT. Let's understand with seven principle or seven mental crises. The first mental crisis is called mental fog and overestimation. Let's understand what it is. Right, so we have to understand what it is. So we define what it is, and then we understand the problem, and then we will look the solution, right? So the mental fog and overstimulation is saying your brain is in a constant battle between focus versus dopamine. Endless content like TikTok, YouTube, Netflix, Reels, etc. Like, yeah, etc. So it overloads your reward, you know, your reward cir- circuitry, frying your attention span. So the problem is, I think this definition it's doesn't make sense. Let's look at Claude. So I think we should look at Gemini. Okay, so in a mental fog and overstimulation, describe a state where the brain feels constantly overwhelmed and unable to focus. Okay, primarily due to excessive exposure to fast-paced, high-reward digital content. The mental fog is a consequence of your brain being overstimulated by constant novelty and quick dopamine hits from platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and games. Right, this leads to diminished capacity for sustained attention and deep work. Right? I think now you can understand. So, what is the problem then? What is the problem? Right? Are you ready for you know diving into that? So, like, what is the problem? We are consuming content. Okay, it's okay. No issue. No, no, no. There is an issue. So, I'll tell you with help of framework, or with how each term or each mental crisis link each other. Okay, let's dive in. So Gemini says real problem is that our brain are not designed for this constant barrage of information. We are we are wired for novelty, and these platforms exploit that by providing an endless stream of new engaging content, and this creates a dopamine you know dysregulation where the brain becomes accustomed to high level of immediate gratification, making less stimulating but more important tasks like focus, work, or learning feel boring and like un like un unrewarding by comparison. Okay, right. I think that makes sense. Let's look at Claude. The problem is, I think you can understand better here. Your brain is literally rewired for instant gratification. TikTok gives you a dopamine hits every 15 seconds. Netflix provide emotional escape without effort. Game offer achievement without real world consequence. So your attention span has been hijacked by algorithm designed by teams of neuroscientists and and behavioral economist whose job is to make you addicted. I think that makes sense what I'm saying. Now let's understand. So why it's hard to quit? Alright, why it's hard to quit? Well, the first point is dopamine tolerance. Your brain needs increasingly intense stimulation to feel normal. Okay. The second point is withdrawal symptoms. Boredom feels physically painful when you are used to constant stimulation. Okay. Second point is FOMO, fear, fear something missing. That's FOMO, fear that you are miss something important if you disconnected. That's called FOMO. Okay, and then habit loop. This behavior are tied to triggers like boredom, stress, loneliness that happen dozen of times daily. Okay, what is the solution? What is the solution? Well, digital detox protocol. Digital detox protocol. You're going to start with 1 hour phone free blocks, gradually increase. Okay. Then environment design. Remove apps from your phone. Use website blogger. Create friction. Replacement activities. Have a specific activity ready when you feel the urge to scroll, like push-up, reading, walking. Then dopamine fasting. Schedule regular period of minimal stimulation to reset your baseline. But after listening, after watching lots of tons of video, but still we are not doing it. Man, it's so hard. Like if you create any design or any algorithm in your brain, and if you want to quit now, it should be more difficult than the way you design, because you consume a lot of things, so it takes time and you have to understand. And if you the more harder you try, the 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 faster you can quit. But if you are still doing it, if you are still trying to break it, I hope not today, not tomorrow, maybe next month, maybe next year, it should be uh, it should be like removed from your brain. But that is the question. Well, now we should understand the second point: low self worth and confidence crisis. Let's look at Gemini. What Gemini says: low self-worth and confidence crisis. Okay, what it is? This refers to pervasive feeling of inadequacy and self-doubt, largely fueled by constant social comparison. Like particularly on social media, people perceive others in a curated highlight reels as their everyday reality, leading them to believe they are falling short. Even intelligent individual can be susceptible to this because intelligence doesn't negate emotional vulnerability. Okay, let's understand from ChatGPT. So what it is? Social media shows highlight reels, perfect bodies, rich lives, and success. You feel like a loser in comparison, even if you are grinding. So what is the real problem? Well, deep internal belief I'm not enough. Then paralysis through comparison. Okay, and every failure feels like proof you're falling behind. Why it's hard to quit? The human brain is wired for social comparison, survival mechanism. Okay. Second point: social media supercharges it by showing millions of people doing better than you. Okay. Validation become externalized, like likes, views, follower. What is the solution? Win stacking. Track daily micro wins to rebuild internal self trust. Okay. Inner scorecard reset. Define your values. Did I grow 1% today? Instead of comparing outcomes. Unfollow to focus. Curate feeds to reduce noise, increase inspiration. I think this point makes sense, right? Why you are falling behind. Okay. Then third point is lack of discipline and routine. This is the result of above 2 points. So no consistency. You want structure but fail into the loop of sleeping late, skipping habits, starting and quitting. Okay. What is the problem then? You sleep late, wake up tired. Okay. You procrastinate all day, then being content at night. Okay. You want routine but feel too lazy or unmotivated. Okay. I think that makes sense. Then why it's so hard to quit? Discipline requires energy, which is already depleted by overstimulation and anxiety. Second, lack of external accountability makes it easy to hit snooze on life. Or the solution: keystone habit, lock in, pick one habit. For example, wake up time, like stack everything around it. Then automatic habit principle: start small, one push up, 1 minute walk, 10 minute walk, 5 minute journaling. Okay. Then third point is social pressure loop: announce your goals publicly or use app with accountability. This is the third point. Let's understand with help of Claude. Okay. So Claude says you are trying to build discipline while your environment and habits are designed for chaos. Your willpower is finite and you are depleting it by making the same decision over and over without system. You are relying on motivation which is unreliable and temporary. I think it makes sense, right? So, and why it's so hard? There is a point: willpower depletion, then all or nothing thinking, lack of system, and then social environment. This is the third point. Now understand what the fourth point: emotional burnout and anxiety. What it is: you are overwhelmed, life hits you from every angle, money, relationship, career, future. You escape by numbing, by numbing out or is spiraling emotionally, right? So the real problem is you swing between anxiety attacks and numbing escape with porn scrolling, right? So you feel like you are pretending to be okay. Everything feels urgent. You can't breathe deeply. So why it's hard to quit? Coping mechanism, even toxic ones, are comforting. You have never been taught emotional regulation or how to sit with discomfort. Burnout often shows up quietly until you crash. What is solution? Emotional adult practice. Ask yourself 1x or 1 day what I'm feeling and why. And then low cost healing stack. Journaling plus exercise plus breath work. Okay. And then pain into power. Rule: use pain as a fuel by channeling it into creative or physical output. Alright. I think this is the fourth point. What about five? What about fifth? No clear life purpose. Okay. You are drifting. You don't know what you are built for. College didn't help. A job isn't fulfilling. Entrepreneurship is loud but unclear. The real problem is you try random things hoping on sticks. You fear wasting your life. You feel disconnected from your own potential. Why it's hard to quit? Purpose isn't handed to you. You must build it by doing, not overthinking. Clarity requires movement, not perfection. Too many options create decision fatigue. Solution: Ikigai math. Passion x talent. Passion multiply talent multiply market multiply need. That's called Ikigai map. Then purpose sprint. Pick one interest, go deep for 30 days and reflect. Mentorship, a reflection loop. Get feedback on where you are, where your strength shine. 6 point is craving financial freedom but lost on how. What it is. You are stuck in paycheck to paycheck, but the dream is freedom. Money, time, leverage, everyone's selling courses, but no one gives a real roadmap. Okay. The problem is you don't know how to start. You fear you fear wasting time or getting scammed. You overwhelmed by fake gurus and bad info. Right. So yeah, I think this is why it's hard to quit and solution. And then 7 points, feel alone, no mentorship or tribe. I think this point is resonant with me a lot, very much. That is, you are growing, but your friends aren't. You want a winner around you, not people who drain your energy or doubt your vision. Right. So that where you are is not decide where you want to be. So make sure nowadays if you don't have a good connection, good friend, it's not a problem. But if you feel alone, it's totally fine. Don't think don't think so much. So the problem is you feel like a black sheep. Okay, you crave real talk, not fake uh, positivity. You don't know where to find your people. All right. So and there is a brainstorm how they are interlinked. So the thing overstimulation, fog, no focus, no progress. Then low confidence, procrastination, then burnout, then escape, and then more overstimulation. This is a cycle, right? So interlink chain, like mental fog leads to inability to focus. This leads to procrastination. Procrastination destroy discipline, which leads to great regret. And regret amplifies low self-worth. You scroll to numb it. Emotional burnout increases. Without burnout and no result, your brain says maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Then purpose fades, routine dies, you feel alone, you crave freedom but don't know the path. So tribe is missing. There is no external reinforcement, you spiral. Right. I think this is the mental block. I think you should know and you should break it. Otherwise you will be trapped forever. So thank you so much for watching and I hope you implement in your life every step or everything. So yeah, thank you so much again.